Videos recording. Stream starts in 3, 2, 1, live. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning into episode 18 of the Point Gremlins podcast. As usual, I am Alex, otherwise known as Delirium, and joined with me today is James, otherwise known as Jonas the Red. And today we have another special guest who has been on the show once before. We have Luis, otherwise known as GlueEater, joining us today.
What's up?
We are revisiting an old topic today, and we're going to be going through all of the game modes and ranking them on a tier list system once again. We've done this once before, so if you wanted to check out that old video, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure James will put a link to it somewhere. But we are going to be doing it once again, just because I'm sure our opinions have somewhat swayed over the last few months. It's been quite a long time. We're 18 episodes into doing this now. That's like at least 18 weeks. It's a pretty long time. Yeah.
The cool part is that since we have Luis with us, he's going to show us his opinions of game modes. And the reason why I wanted Luis to be on the show is because he plays at the much more objective-based field known as CMP, and his opinions I respect. And so he's here. He's going to be telling us what he thinks of particular game modes and probably have the best opinion of all of us. Yeah. Do you want to start anywhere, or do you want to kick us off with what? Oh, I got to pull up the 7-day leaderboard too.
So luckily the tier list maker is in alphabetical order, because otherwise I'd be a little lost. So we're going to go alphabetical. Starting with Black Hawk Down. I'm going to be looking off to my left every time I have to rank something, because that's what my tier list is. And Black Hawk Down, for me, gets a big old D. James?
Oh, yeah, it's still an S for me. But I think that game mode actually gained some more points the last time I saw this game. I still love this one. And now it's just a joke between Zach and I that we have opposite opinions on this game. I love it really so much. Luis?
I think it's a C.
Big C for Luis.
Big C for Luis. It's a little better than SWAT, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those game modes where you just go like 8-1 and then die most of the time. Like obviously it can be big exciting sometimes where you go like 44 and then eventually die, or you get to stay alive for the whole time. Something like that can be kind of fun, but most of the time it's not fun on the Tango side, and it's a little bit more fun on the Ranger side, but still nothing great.
Big reason why I really like it. What happens, it gives a lot of excuse and reasons for your teammates to cooperate, because you're all kind of like working in close quarters together, and you can just have everyone kind of look at different angles together, and it breeds a lot of teamwork because you're really forced to these small spots. And I love the communication and teamwork part of that. Any game mode, but this one just makes it happen a lot, and it's really fun. Oftentimes I'll take like a couple goblins that I've made friends with over the session if I'm not playing with any regulars, for example, and say, you watch that way, we're gonna held out here, and we move together. It's fun. I don't know how well it works, but it's fun. That's what I like about it.
Most of the time I'm more annoyed by people being like with me in that game mode. If I'm on the Tango side, I'm trying to just pick off some easy kills, and then maybe I'll work together to kill the regulars with some people. And if I'm on the Ranger side, I'm just trying to be in my own spot and do what I can there. Because if there's more people with me, then it doesn't really help me.
No. Sometimes they do huck you. But you want to... I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yep.
I hate when you get killed off of like some BS at the start of the game and you just have one life and you're just like done for. Like when people shoot through the cracks, or like when that China room window was kind of like semi-close, but they still had that big gap at the top open. People would just like stick their gun through there and kill you. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, what? That's it?
That's what I get. First
20 seconds.
Come on.
Sick after that.
Swag. Yeah, I agree with you there. There are sometimes when I just get like first to die and I go, what? I really went just like 1-1 for this game. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Moving on though to our next game, which I think is going to be a little bit more unanimous, is Borg. Borg for me gets a big old D.
Big old D. Put it in the bin.
F-.
Yeah. The game mode on paper has like a really cool mechanic to it and it's pretty unique, but In practice, it sucks. I think most people know
True.
that.
Yeah.
Even the people that like Borg know that it sucks. It's broken. It doesn't work the way it should. People know that.
Now, this is from an opinion of players that are like, they're trying to push the competitiveness of the game, where some of you guys come in and just kind of like want to turn people's lights on all day, and I guess that's where you get the enjoyment out of it. For you, it's really fun. For us, it's just like, man, there's no use in this game. Like, we know what team's going to win here. It's really rare that the Borg actually win. It's just a lot of points. Yeah, woohoo, dopamine fest. There's no, like, thought to the game.
Also, playing as a human is just unbearable. It's not fun at all. Not fun at all to be a human.
That's actually a really good point Ashley brings up in the chat. I know I don't talk about the chat a whole lot, but it was more fun when you couldn't reload, so you had to kind of rely on your teammates to cover you if and when you ran out of ammo. So there was a certain amount of kills you could get, and they were like a one-shot before. So maybe it's more fun if you have like a certain amount of ammo or something like that.
Yeah, that's not something
maybe just put a twist on.
I haven't experienced that.
No,
all right,
because if you wanted to reload, you could. You have to run to one of the bases and do it quick, but you're just getting deleted. Good spin, but.
Next game mode is Mission Breakthrough. For me, I put Breakthrough in A. James?
Where did I put Young Breakthrough? Yeah, it's staying in A2. I haven't really got a chance to play it yet, and I don't think we're going to get a chance to play it for a while still. We have a couple more game modes that get working before we get this game mode online, but it sort of exists.
Sure we do.
We have a couple more. We have a big to-do list, and iCombat's been really, really busy recently, so with leagues and popularity and other game modes and other ideas we're trying to go through. This is just like it's pretty close to the bottom, so I don't really know how good it actually is, but I like it.
Have you played Breakthrough, Luis?
Yeah, I think it's an A too. The game is so cool.
It does have a cool premise, and I did enjoy playing it a lot. It's kind of like Infiltration, but a little bit easier to be the one to capture the tube, and you don't hold it for very long. So you can do a lot as one person in this game, which is cool.
Yeah, you don't have to hold on to the other two for very long to win the game either. You just kind of get over there for a second and then go like full defense. And then if the other team realizes that, they might go really, really hard to push the other team. It's like a big kind of cycle around the map from the few times I've played it. But I don't really know how it plays. I don't know if it's really good yet. I only had a couple experiences with it so far.
All right.
I really enjoy the game because it's like one of the closest games to our King of the Hill, where like at CMP when we played King of the Hill, it was a 2-box game, one upstairs, one downstairs. And how you usually played it, you would try to hold your dominant box for the whole time and then try to touch the other one. So this game is played like that, where you kind of just try to touch theirs and then defend your two for the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So it has that vibe, the same vibe as King of the Hill, which I love.
Good vibes. Yeah, that's exactly why I wanted you on the show, to bring those comparisons to CMP for this week. It's really good. What's up next?
Next up, we have Domestic Threat, which I put as a B on my list here, but I'm actually going to move it down to a C.
Oh, real?
Yep.
Okay, so I have mine in an A because I'm really liking this game mode recently. Reason being is just I really love the hiding the backpack spot. You can find some really clever things that maybe not necessarily win all the time, but it's funny to put it there in my opinion. Maybe one day I'll find like a really crazy spot that will win it so many more times. But just the creativity you get with hiding the backpack somewhere else.
I just don't think playing the objective in this game is fun. I think the most fun part about this game is defending the bag. And half the time when I'm on the defending team, I don't even like check where my team put it. I just like give it to one random and be like, go crazy, show me what you got, and then they'll put it somewhere and we'll lose in either 2 minutes or win because the enemy team can't get into the market. Where you put the bag, I think, has so little importance in this game.
I don't know about that one. Well, anyways, Luis, what do you think?
I put it at a B. Only reason I have it at B is because I hate when regulars put in some like BS spot, like on a nail or like on like, you know what I'm talking about, like by the bell, that nail. Like I hate when they do that. Like it's like not realistic. But it's pretty good.
Trying to get the bag is not fun. Trying to defend the bag is mediocre at best. It's a game mode that only uses the market. The other two areas of the field are used completely for either flanking or just because you want to get kills and not really play the objective. It's a really, really easy game to say the objective's not very fun, so I'm not going to play it, which I think is the majority of people's viewpoint on this game.
That's a good point about our field in general. So many of our games rely around the marketplace. Not like all of them, right? There's a good chunk of them that don't. But a lot of the games do just rely around controlling the marketplace and then fighting over the marketplace. And it just becomes a marketplace-centered game mode, which leaves the ghetto and the mansion unused. More game modes I want to kind of push to those sides of the map and not, I don't know, that way I think the game was more fun with more field usage or just more difference between the game modes we have already.
I think games are at their best when they use all three areas of the field. When it's not just the tower or just the... I don't think there is anything that's just the tower or anything that's just the mansion. Just areas that use the entire portion of the field are generally my favorite ones, and I think the tier list is going to eventually show that. But once we keep moving on here to our next round, which is going to be mission Domination, which I have put in the S tier.
No, that one didn't move for you. I think that one went down for me. Let me see, where did I put Domination? Oh god, what does the Domination picture look like? Oh yeah, it did move down a step. It's down to a B for me. I still like Whack-A-Mole a bunch, which we'll get to in a bit. But Domination's going to go one step further because we just play it so often. And it's a great game mode. Yeah, we just play it all the time, and I'm tired of playing it, like Sniper or like Team Deathmatch. Just more times I see a game mode, I tend not to like it anymore. I want some more, I don't know, rarity to the games.
Luis, what you got?
I think it's an S as well. It's definitely the best tube game. It's just so good.
I don't know about best tube game, but it is certainly a very, very good game. I think it's something that I want to play Domination. I like to kind of strategize, like think mid-match where the enemy team is putting like the majority of their power, where I should go to counteract certain players. What tubes do I need to capture? What point of the field is my team weakest that I should go help out? There's a lot of thinking of what I can do as a player to make the most difference during that mission. And whatever I can do to make the biggest difference is something I'm going to try and do. And Domination's a really good game to like look at the scoreboard and be like, okay, we're getting destroyed from this point of the field. I got to go help that area, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's a great reason why the game mode is really nice. But otherwise, yeah. What do we have after that?
After that is mission Elimination, which I have as an A, which I don't think has moved. I think I like Elimination.
Stays there. What's the symbol for Elimination again? It's
the little pinwheel,
like the James Bond thing.
Yeah.
I think it's moved up for me since last time. So now we're sitting at a B. I think I really did not like this game mode before because of just the fact of going 0-2. But now I've gotten a little bit better, got a good understanding of the guns, and I'm playing a little bit better than I played like a year ago. So I'm just I like it a bit more. I think it can even go higher than a B, or it's even higher in the B category. So it's going to stay there. Stay a good B.
What you got for me, Luis?
I got it at B too.
All right.
I like the game. It just feels like another version of TDM though.
It's a
Seems
game.
like there's a lot.
Finish what you got.
It seems like there's like so many games where it's like TDM, diet TDM, one shot TDM, but one team has more life. Like it's like one of those variants like of TDM. Like yeah, you like TDM, but like that's it. It's just TDM, but with two lives.
Yeah. It's a game where I feel bad playing it with new players, because I know for most new players they're not going to like this game. It's never going to be like a highlight for a new player, because they're going to go 0-2, 0-1, never see anybody, just kind of sit around for 5 minutes. It's not very fun for them. But for regulars that are like get past that point where they go like 3-2, 0-2, that sort of thing, if you can get past that and you're like still alive with 1 minute left, you're lurking around the field trying to find where the last people are hiding, that sort of thing, we're clearing rooms slowly, knowing where people tend to be and kind of checking those areas, is a lot of fun. And it has like a high tension to moving around the field, because you don't want to die because you're on your last life, and if you stay alive you can possibly actually win the game, which doesn't happen very often.
Yes, that's exactly why Elimination is good. Just recently I played, I'm not sure. It's some big session like that where I was like one of the last few people remaining. I didn't get a whole lot of kills, but I was still like moving really carefully, kind of like look for the hidden little goblins that are hiding on like their side of the map, kind of like crouching and looking around and stuff. I got a couple kills like that, but I didn't even win the game for the team. It was still ended in a tie, but it felt so cool just to go little. I disappeared.
Speaking of that, I kind of wish the game rewarded you for doing better than your team, like your opponent. Like, it feels like you can have 7 players alive and your team has 1, and it ends in a draw. And I'm like, what? It should be a way that the team with more players gets like awarded. You know what I mean? Like either win or loss, or like if it's point wise, like give them 5 points for the number of players that are alive versus other teams.
Yeah, and I know the reason they didn't do that is because team sizes aren't always the same. So like my team might have 1 more player than your team or something like that. So in elimination, we'd have just an inherent advantage for having more players. So I know that's like the reason they just give the tie no matter what. But I think it would be nice like when you have like that 7-1 domination where it's like so very obviously one team won, but it just gives it a tie anyways, that it would just say which team won. I don't even have like an option. You know, I just have to say okay to the tie. I don't get an option to pick a team.
Stat-wise, is the tie. Generally, I'll always say which team actually won over the microphone. But believe it or not, if you do go check on Barracks, it's going to be a win for both teams. You get points, but did you really win, though? Sucks.
Yep.
Great point.
All right, moving on to the next one, which is mission Espionage. Where did I put Espionage? I put it in the big ol' C category, which I think is being kind of generous.
Yeah, mine stays in C too. I think it's okay. I think it deserves the C spot. I don't want to put it down in like the dumpster D category. It's okay. Luis?
It's in D for me.
Oh.
It just seems like the game, like whoever gets there first kind of wins, whereas like the better version of it, Infiltration, it gives you like 2 aspects of the game. Like, all right, I can't beat them with speed. I can try to like defend them once we have eyes in the bag. Then we can try to move the bag. Whereas that's like, oh, they got the bag. Well, good game.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing you can do in in Espionage is like wait for the enemy team to grab the bag and then you kill them and take it from them. That's like the coolest plan that I've seen people do. But that's been the same plan that people have done for years and years and years. Ever since I've been playing, people have always done that.
Yeah, it doesn't change. There's got to be a way we could spice it up. I think the way you could do that would add a bit more of a delay to getting the bag. Maybe like the lockers unlock after 1 minute into the mission or something like that. Then maybe give it a chance for both teams to kind of fight over the tower for a while. Or even just move the location of where it could be to like the China room or something. Something different with poor Espionage.
The delay would be nice because then it would give you that like fight for the bag, and if you can, then you have to try to like lock their spawn zone or something.
It just popped in my brain. It probably wouldn't be that good, but what if instead of like a delay, and it would actually take like mechanical work and electronics and stuff like that, but what if the lockers like ran on hydraulic pistons or like pneumatic pistons, so they would just like open and close randomly, and when you see the bag open and you're like, oh, and you got to get it, if you like miss it, you're like, oh shit, it's in there, and you got to wait for it to open again, something like that.
And then your arm gets stuck.
Yeah, and then your arm gets chopped off in the locker. Be cool though.
Good. Yeah, I like that one. You know that one locker that just doesn't open?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
That one. Yeah,
I like those lockers. They knew exactly what they were doing. All right. Next up on the list is Hell's Bells, which has actually moved up a category to C. Wow.
Yeah, you mentioned the last show that it's been growing on you. Where did I put Hell's Bells? This guy's. Oh, what did you just say? You put it in B?
I put it in C.
Oh, really? Yeah, mine's in C too. It did grow a little bit on me. I think I don't really like enjoy the game a whole lot, but there are games that I like worse or I hate more than it. Luis?
I got it at B. I like the game mode. The only thing I don't like about the game mode is that it seems like the bell's so RNG unless like you're under the bell. Like you could be in a good spot and you would miss like half your shots on the bell. Like I wish the bell registered more like hits. I would say like if you're shooting at the bell, it should kind of try to register them instead of like 1/3 of your shots. Like there's been times where I play from garage side, I go upstairs and I empty like 5 clips into the bell and we lose, and I'm like, what? How? And it's just because I missed a lot.
Yeah, I think the big problem with the game is the fact that I can't see if I'm hitting the bell. If we had like a screen next to the bell or something like that so that I can see my number is going up as I'm shooting at the bell, because I'm like upstairs shooting below the bell and I hear it dinging, but I don't know if that's me hitting it. Like this is exactly what happened 3 weeks ago playing against Specs' team in leagues. Like I was shooting the bell from upstairs, I heard it was dinging, but I didn't know if that was me dinging it, and if I might have just been missing all of my shots. I would have had no way to know.
Generally, I think you can tell if your shots are the one hitting it just from like, but you can't. If you're the one shooting the bell, but someone's already shooting the bell before you, I think it just gives that to the other player, right? Like it gives that bell priority. I'm not really sure how the bell works.
It goes kind of 50-50. It's just a vest that's respawning every 10th of a second.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
So it wouldn't like hold priority of one player over another.
But man, it feels like it. It
It's
feels
just
like
RNG.
the bell ignores you.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not very reactive to your shots most of the time. There are changes I want to make to that game, but those changes won't happen.
True. All right, next mission is Mission Hive, which I have moved down to a C.
I really liked this game before. It's in B for me now. It's still at heart Borg. We'll talk about it in a second, but I want to see Luis's one, because this one I think really will change some things.
Could be D for me.
A D.
This is a little bit better than Borg. I had Borg at F-. This one's a D.
It's an attempt to make Borg a fun game, but right now, I think just very, very recently, we had like these zombie headbands that we would assign to the Borg category, and then you could shoot those in turn of shooting the players to get the health points of the Borg down, but they disabled that. We can't put the zombie headbands in that category anymore. Hive is still a playable game, but you just got to take off your vest again, or take off your headband again, whichever one we decide to do for that day, and then go put it somewhere.
Yeah, no, I think Hive is not playable until I figure out if I can use like a hacker target, or if I can figure out another way to use the zombie headbands or something like that to register the hits. At the moment, I don't think it's very playable, and the other problem is initially when we started playing Hive, I think everyone played it in a way that I really liked. And now as we've transitioned, people just like will sit and garden, or will just like not play the game the way I was hoping they would play it. And it has just always, it doesn't work out the way I wanted it to.
What was happening, right, is it would be the protected area would have to be in the spawn. And so I think what we wanted to do is we wanted to move the protected hive, metaphorical, to like closer to their base, so the fountain of the marketplace. So the Borg would have to push up just a little bit and make it so like their hive is a bit more at risk. So they had to play more defensively around it instead of just being like, oh, it's in our base. Just spawn trap them. Well, if they can't go upstairs, then make a good sprint upstairs real quick. And they could shoot over the sides of Marketplace to shoot the hive from there. And they have to defend that. They have to pull back from the spawn camping. It makes it a bit better.
Yeah, I think another fun thing about Hive initially was figuring out all the spots you could hit the hive from and trying to be pretty sneaky about it. But now that everybody, well, at least a lot of the better spots have been kind of solved or figured out, it's not as exciting to try and find those spots.
What was cool about those spots, but also sucked about those spots, is that just dependent on how the team leader or the players place them in their base, some spots would work and some spots wouldn't work. It was just that much of a little bit of a change left and right. Which
yeah, I didn't like that aspect, but I see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the next game mode, which is Mission Infiltration, which I have as an A.
Oh yeah, it's an A2 for me. I think I if I were to play this game more, it'd be higher, because I just don't have much experience with it. I know Luis loves this game mode, so hit me with
S tier.
This game is awesome. Why is it an S, Luis? Hit me with it.
It's just so good. Like it lets you like it's a game where it just keeps going back and forth. Like you don't have to like win right off the bat. Like you can like I guess like if you get beat at the bag, then you just retreat, and then once like you find the bag, you can drop it, and then try to work as a team to get into their base. You'll probably fail, and then you have to like you just keep going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I think
That's fun.
mine moved down one tier. I think I had it as an S last time, and like it's just mostly because I've had some kind of bad experiences with the game lately, where I just either the session's too full for the game to really work out and be fun, or people just don't play it the way that I think it should be run. So I think it's just suffers because of that. But overall, I still really enjoy Infiltration.
The game utilizes, like we said, the whole field, which gives it bonus points. It gives you a lot of mix-up options. Generally, though, what I've noticed is the play is if you die with the bag, and let's say in Ghetto, you reclaim the bag and you go through the other side of the map through Mansion. But what if you did it? What if you kept going and you denied them the mix-up? And then that part of it's really cool, is you can either decide to go for the predictable play, keep going through it, or do something different. Going in from all these different little angles makes it very, very cool. They have to back up, be like, where is he coming from, dog? Where is the bag coming in from? It's fun. It's an awesome game. And it makes it, instead of lasting about like 15 seconds like normal Espionage, it lasts damn near the whole 5 minutes.
I went through the metal. Metal's fun.
Yeah.
You just run through the metal, drill the person looking at you, and put it in there. And you start going, let's go!
All right, moving on to the next game mode, which is mission Jailbreak. Jailbreak for me is sitting pretty at a big ol' another A for me.
Jailbreak. Where did I put that guy? Oh yeah, he's an A with me, but he's at the top of the A category. I have my list particularly ordered. I don't know if you're ordering it on your side,
Nope.
but I really, really, really like Jailbreak right now. It's really fun for me. Love this game.
What you got?
I have it at a B just because I feel like a lot of the regulars don't play this game how it's supposed to be. Every time they play it from the where you have to escape side, they just go farm instead of trying to escape. So, kind of like, it's just like, I don't know, people are just playing it like the opposite was supposed to be played.
Generally, I always think the guards are the ones that just... There's like one or two regulars that are kind of hanging out in the breach door area, and then they're just going to be on Farm Fest, where I feel like I'm always the one that's going to have to be on the other side of the map covering from that side. I don't feel like I'm getting a whole lot of points for being a guard when I should. But otherwise, escaping is always super, super fun for that game. It's the respawn beacon that we have in the mansion is, honestly, I just enjoy fun, just kind of sticking my gun real quick and running out. Turning the map 90 degrees, that's also fun for me. It just changes things. I mentioned that earlier, or I think maybe last week, that I want to try. It was an idea of mine to try turning an entire session 90 degrees. I don't think this field's designed for it at all, but it could be funny to try. I'll see if it does. Again, no promises on that one, but it could be real one day.
That'd be whack.
It would be whack.
Imagine playing Domination like that. Like,
two of the tubes just being way out in the open.
Like two tubes in spawn, like in each spawn, and then the market two in the middle.
That'd be interesting. No, I think Jailbreak is very fun from the prisoner side. I think guard side is boring, but being a prisoner and trying to escape is fun. The achievements are fun to go for in this game for the most part. I think it's another thing that I've enjoyed doing for this game mode lately is trying to get the last few achievements I need, and those are actually kind of fun to try and get. So you need one more.
What's that one more you need?
15 kills in 1 minute as a guard.
It's doable. You have to be really greedy for it.
I have to play a full session, which I don't normally do. All right. Next on the list, I think, is going to be a resounding bad. We got Judge Dredd. Bad. Bad for me. Bad tier.
Garbage.
Put it down there.
I didn't even play that game for my birthday, and they asked me why, and I said, because I don't want to put people through that.
Yeah, it's like Elimination, but you take all the fun out of it. Of trying to be the last person alive, sneaking around, killing the enemy team. But now you just are trying to hide from the Dredd, and once he finds you, there's nothing you can do. Get wrecked, idiot.
If the actual person playing the role of Judge Dredd had a bit more predictability or like role play to it. Maybe he had a shotgun and he had to walk at a certain speed and he like had to like yell and announce that I'm coming for you, idiots, or something like that. It'd be more like, oh shoot, he's over there. Or maybe the ice operator always called out his position so you could try to avoid him and he walks very slow. It'd be kind of more like the Darth Vader thing. It makes it a little bit better because in the Darth Vader helmet you can't see a whole lot.
If Darth Vader had more sensors, he would die almost instantly, and it would be actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was like when I went to go play, it was close to Christmas time. I think it was me, Damien, Ethan, and Leanne went to go play in Rochester, in Michigan, and they had Country Classic. Their player, Country Classic, dressed up as Tactical Santa, and he had like a microphone and everything, and he's announcing to everybody, "Ho ho ho!" and he like gun people down and be like, "You're naughty" and stuff like that every time he killed somebody. But he died within a minute every single game because their field is so open that he'd just like walk out and just get lit up. It was funny. The game can be cool. It's got some potential, but
it might be better if
Go ahead, Luis. Sorry.
It might be better if the Dredd didn't have a gun. Maybe if they just had like the zombie or purge had sensors.
Oh, okay. He's just running around, he shakes people instead of actually killing them.
Yeah, because it sucks when you have Jeremy going out just shooting the crap out of you, and you're just like trying to hide from him. He's just like, oh, well, I have the same gun as you, but 5,000 health, so get wrecked.
A good player trying their heart out to get as many points as possible it's fun for that one person, of course it is. It's not fun for the rest of the players that are on the field, but it could be. It could be if we had a tactical Santa running around like that.
And he get just absolutely destroyed.
Something to try. Give him a shotgun.
Next up on the list is Juggernaut, which remains as an S for me.
True.
It's gone up for me. He's in an A. It's a good game now. I didn't like it before. Now I do. This game's fun.
You had an S, Luis?
Yes. I like it, but I prefer when we play Jug, defending side of Jug from the
embassy side? Garage side?
Breach side. Yeah, breach side.
You prefer the Juggernaut on breach side?
Yeah, I don't like when they start from garage side.
I think I agree with that. There used to be a reason we did that, and that's because like 3 times in a row when we didn't have that many regulars, I killed the Juggernaut in like 10 seconds, and we were like, okay, maybe we should change this. But it's still something to mix it up every once in a while.
Yeah, I like the mix up of new rules, but generally I think Juggernaut is played better from old rules side. That means is what Luis is saying, where Juggernaut's on the breach side. It's fun to mix it up, but I think that game's really awesome. Once you get a better understanding of what Upstairs and Marketplace is, which I didn't last year, now I do, it's a much more fun game mode. You can have that team coordination of controlling your own back steps, making sure the front steps is secured, knowing where your own Juggernaut is and trying to find their Juggernaut. It's a fun game. Honestly, it's a really, really good game. And I think I mentioned this last time we had this conversation, is like, how did this game actually start? Was it one of the original games? Was it like really bad before? What did they change? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Jeremy or Brandon when they get a chance. How this game came.
It's one of the very, very few games that has every single role being fun to play. It's fun to be the Juggernaut, it's fun to defend the Juggernaut, and it's fun to attack the Juggernaut. All 3 roles in this game are fun to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of the few games in iCombat that kind of develops some meta. So like at one point you're like trying to just push right off their stairs and try to like just put bodies on there, or like adapt to people trying to flank up their stairs, or people trying to go up their sniper tower and shoot up people. Like it's one of those games that like kind of develops some meta and it slowly like changes.
Yeah, it's actually a game that does change pretty frequently how people play it. And I think part of that's because we play it differently every once in a while, or we have it on one side of the field versus another. So people are like, oh, well, this spot worked really well on this side of the field. I wonder if it'll work the same way on the other side of the field. And things kind of change based off of people trying different things.
I was going to say the exact same thing. The living, breathing game mode that changes all the time is rare to see at iCombat. Good. Keep it that way. More game modes should be living, breathing, and changing. Anyways.
Next up is King of the Hill. Garbage game mode. Opinions don't change. This game mode sucks.
Does that mean D for you or C for you?
That's a D.
Oh, it's at the bottom of the C category for me. He's out of the D category, but he's still pretty. It's a pretty yikes little game. I think I liked it before. No, I just don't.
Not fun.
You're right.
D. Pretty garbage.
You've got a cool game that uses all 3 points of the field, and then you take all the cool parts about it, like what I was talking about earlier, where like kind of changing your playstyle mid-match depending upon how things are going. And then you've got King of the Hill, where it's like, oh, we don't have the tube? Gotta get the tube. Can't get the tube because it's in a spot that's really, really hard for my team to get at because I'm on this side of the field. Dang, that sucks.
That's crazy. Good game.
I think the argument for this game is that you want to play it in a smaller size session so that you're forced to fight against each other. I genuinely think if this were still a 2v2 scenario, if you play Domination, it would be better than King of the Hill would be.
I love small sessions Domination and Whack-A-Mole. That's fun. Moving around the field that fast and like having to capture multiple tubes over and over and over again is fun. You're running in circles, trying to find each other, trying to get people off the tubes, get the tube. Then you lose a different tube, so you got to go over there. That's fun. When it's King of the Hill and you're just kind of going back and forth on the same tube, it's okay, but not very fun.
Yeah. I wish I had the opportunity to play more small sessions. I played like a 7-on-7 or 8-on-8, and it almost had the same vibe, but it didn't just this last week. It was fun. It was funner than my normal 15-on-15. I'm seeing the allure more, but I just can't. I'm always working in combat. I don't want to stop doing that. I wish I could play more. I wish there was the perfect universe where I could.
7-on-7 is a really good session.
Mm-hmm. It was fun, but I think it wants smaller.
Moving on. Next is Military Intel, which I have is a C.
Military Intel.
Which one's this one?
It's the two backpacks, the red backpack or the green backpack and the blue backpack, opposite sides of the field. You can respawn one time.
Oh, there he is. So I'm going off of the new rules Military Intel, and I put it at like the bottom of the A category, like the lowest A could be. I think that with the bags placed the way they are so far apart now, with new rules Military Intel, it makes it a much more playable, fun game. Not all the time. Not all the time. The game will just end in like 1 minute or like a minute 30 or something like that, but it's much better than before. And a few times I've got to play it, it was actually pretty fun.
What you got for me, Luis?
I like this game. I put it at B. I like it better than Elimination because it gives you that like second objective. Like either you kill their whole team, or you try to get the backpack, or you try to defend your backpack. So like, pretty nice in that aspect.
I haven't had a good chance to play the new rules version of this game. I think I played it one time, and my team was getting just absolutely smoked that session, so I just lost it twice in like a minute, which wasn't very fun.
Doesn't feel good.
And I didn't like the old version of the game, so I think I moved it up one tier. It's got potential. It could be fun. It has the part of Military Intel that's cool, and then a secondary objective as well, but
games with multiple like win conditions, that adds extra points to the game. So Military Intel has the bags or the killing of the entire team. That adds extra points for it for me, because you could go for what do you think your team have a better chance of completing. If you don't think your team's necessarily that good at getting across the field really quick and grabbing really quick, you guys could just go super defensively and just try and eliminate them all and slow push the game, which gives you more coordination with your team, allows it's a better way of playing it.
Yeah.
More fun.
I agree with James.
We're getting kind of long here, so I'm going to start breezing through a couple of these next ones. Next up is Platoon, which I have Platoon as a C. Platoon's a C.
Real? I think your opinion on this one changes like hourly. Yep. I think the other day you said that like Platoon is a really good game.
It can be.
And what's the Platoon symbol look like?
It's the bullet and the guy with the pinwheel.
I actually put this one in S. He's not as good as some of the other game modes of S, so put it like near the bottom of S.
Okay.
But it's still really good. You don't want to do like multiple tubes. You want to do generally one and put it in one of the places. I don't care which one it is. to do all tower one. This game mode's still good. I really enjoy it still. It's hard to get across to your team, but if your team's all on the same page for this one, which is the most times that I have played it, weirdly enough, then the game is fun. But otherwise, a lot of the time, it's just your team doesn't know what the hell's going on. They don't know how to shoot the tube, so you're going to play team deathmatch for 5 minutes. Maybe shoot the tube once.
I think that's the majority of the time you play the game, which is the problem. You can't play this game in a full session. You actually just cannot. You will not move on past round 1. You'll shoot the tube, and then you've done your part, and you're going to wait 5 minutes for round 2 where you're going to do your part, and then the game is not going to move on. Half the regulars don't even play this game mode, so by the end of it, I'll watch the screen and be like, which regulars didn't shoot the tube this round? I can count like 4 or 5 of them, at least. So most people don't even play this game mode. Even the regulars don't play this game mode. They have such a sour taste of this game that it makes it just unplayable.
Was this game on the wheel for leagues?
It was not, because I didn't even put it on there because I thought people wouldn't want it. But I think it's probably, maybe, possibly going to be replacing Hacker for this week's leagues. I have to do the game modes still for that.
Maybe if you guys have an opinion on that one, drop it in the leagues channel in our Discord, by the way. We can see your opinions on it, and then we can either keep Hacker or delete Hacker. Yeehaw.
Delete.
What you got for Platoon, Luis?
I put it at a B. It's an okay game. It's just very hard to play in big sessions, but in smaller sessions it seems more fun.
Damn,
yeah, that sounds about Platoon.
I promise I have game modes that I'm going to put in the B category. We just haven't done any of them yet.
Look at them.
That's whack. All right. Speaking of B category, this next one, Mission Reaper, is a big B for me.
What does Reaper look like?
Probably a D
That's
for
just
you.
TDM.
It's a C for me. This is the top of the C category for me.
What you got for me, Luis?
I like it. It's TDM, but instead of going for kills, you just try not to die as much. So I put it A.
I put it
play indifferent.
No, I don't play any different. I put it as absolutely neutral as I could, just because it's just another TDM. It's nothing special. Am I mad that it's in my session? No. Am I happy that it's in my session? No.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fucking Reaper. Anyways, we don't have to talk about Reaper too much. There's the 10-minute variant, but who cares?
Next up's a bad game. Time for Recon. This is a bad game.
Wow.
Put that in D.
Maybe one day we can make this game fun on our field.
I've got plans. I haven't been able to play it in a minute.
Yeah, next time we'll run some ideas by Gilly and Jeremy and be like, can we try this? And then we'll try it, and maybe like a Sunday last session type of a vibe, and then we'll try it there and see if you guys like it. But right now, as this game stands, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
What do you have
D.
for it, James? You have a D for Luis?
What did I do? Yeah, he's in D as well.
Nice.
He's down there.
Everybody hates this game.
D is in dog poop.
Yeah.
D is in dumpster fire.
Next up, though, we got a good game. We got Rushed, baby. Good game. S tier. Good game.
I think this game is close to being one of my all-time favorites now. It's sitting in S, but I don't know where to put it in S, so put it in S.
What you got for me, Luis?
It's an S for me, too.
Nice. This is one of those games that's got the cool team aspect of it where everybody's got to kind of work together. You can just kind of... It's not like you need to work as a team, but everybody has their own part to do, so everybody is working. And the solo aspect of it is there too. So it's I want to personally shoot tubes 1, 2, and 3. I personally want to win this game by helping out. The objective is fun in this game, which a lot of these games is at least okay or just a means to an end. But this game mode is actually fun to play.
It feels so good.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It feels so good hitting that third tube, by the way. It feels just damn, I am awesome. I hit this last tube. Yeah.
We were playing really well in this one session I did, and I got this one newer player to do it. No one really knows him. He's the Crimson Fox or something. He plays once a year or something like that. I was like, yo, Fox, get upstairs. And he actually managed to get all the way up the staircase. follow me all the way over to the corner, which is already hard to like corral a new player, and get him to shoot right over the top. And it's already like hard for a new player to shoot at an angle into the tube, but he picked it up right away. And I was like, yo, that's my favorite part of it for me. Right there was corralling that guy to get into that third tube for rush, which is hard to do. That was a fun game. That was cool.
All right. Next up on the list, we got Safecracker, which is another one in the B category for me.
Where did I put this guy? Yeah, he's in the B for me as well. I
Real?
think he's been higher before, but he's moved down some pegs for me.
Safecracker?
Safecracker.
Oh, cool.
I like Safecracker. I have it at A.
It just feels like, I think ever since I mentioned that I like this game, people play it in sessions that I'm in, and then when I'm losing, they'll play that session and I'm in. I'm like, well, playing one of my favorite game modes in a session I'm already losing doesn't necessarily make the session more fun. You just kind of hurt. You're like tainting my favorite game.
It's
for
just,
taste in my mouth being added.
I think the only cool part about this game is the safe and like the act of pressing the buttons on the safe. But I think it's just like a weird spin on espionage, which makes it like okay, but there's not a lot of interacting with other players. There's not a lot of back and forth. Both teams are going for their own objectives, and it's just a matter of who does it faster. It's not contesting one thing. It's almost split off from each other, because once each team has the key on the move, it's just a matter of who gets to that safe first, really.
Yeah, the interaction you'll see is just like at the center room of the marketplace mansion for like a little bit, and they only want to be in there for as little time as possible. They want to get in there and get out.
Yeah,
and they don't interact anymore, and they run over there. The more interaction happens around the tower, but like one team will pretty much always like shut out the other team and lock it down for like the whole time, and then just stays that way. And then they can the whatever key still in the mansion can still take its sweet time getting over the tower. He's okay. It's okay. Generally, it's a cooler part of it. It's different. I like it. It used to be cooler, not anymore for me.
Yep.
I like it just because like it's one of the games that uses the whole field. It gives you like different, I would say like different points. Like you can either start as the tower, defend tower, or you can go get the key, or you can go and stop them from getting their key. It gives you like 3 different roles to play. And then it's like one of the best like grind games too. Like it's a game where like you'll start doing one thing and then you have to like switch to doing something else, and then another thing after you die. Like it's a game where you're gonna be grinding to get the key into the tower. Like you usually do different tasks after.
I like the term grind game. I felt like that like grind when like you have a really good lockout of Juggernaut, for example, and they have the top of marketplace really well. Kind of have to grind to get up that staircase to kind of push him out and eventually win the gunfight and kill him.
I think of grind game, I think of Hell's Bells. Shoot bell. Keep shooting bell. Grind bell.
Clear room.
Yeah.
Shooting bell.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the next game, we got Mission Sniper, which is a B for me.
Real?
Yeah.
What happened to Sniper for you?
Did I have it higher or lower last time?
You definitely had it higher last time.
Really? I thought I had it lower. I don't like Sniper. I'm not very good at it, I think.
That's about that. I have it in B as well. We just play it so goddamn often. I'm tired of looking at this game. I want to play something more objective based and just kill them with your accuracy focus. But Luis, I'm interested in your opinion.
I have it at B.
Wow.
I like it. I wish, it's a good game. I wish I was better at it, but I like it.
Yeah, so far my history with it is not great. I lost my league game of it, and I lost my tournament game of it. So I feel like I don't have a very good handle of it at this point.
0-2 gang right here.
It also is, like, playing it in a public session is one of my least favorite things because the field is so dark because of the soundtrack. And I hate it when the field is very dark because I can't see anything.
I kind of hate that you can't really control like the outcome of the game. Like if you're in a public session and you have those randoms or Matthew shooting at full auto, you can't really control the outcome of the game. So like you just get cocked by your teammate or Matthew shooting at full auto.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like it's either a new player that like holds you back, or like a regular trolling holds you back, and they're proud of it.
It's also so cringe that there's a lot of regulars that like to, at the start of the game, sprint and shoot full auto. That is so cringe. Don't do that. Just play the game how it's supposed to be. I'm just going to go Main Street and shoot full auto. It doesn't matter. Our score is 0. And?
It's also not how the math of the game works.
Yeah, don't.
I could go on a tangent on how the math of the game works, but I'm not going to.
Have a delirium class.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know the math of Sniper, I got you. All right, next up is Hacker. I hate Hacker. I think I've given this game a fair shot at this point, and I don't like it. It's a D.
Yeah, I actually... Really? A D? That's sharp. I have it an A. It's grown for me. I got to play it like in a realistic way recently. It felt good to play. I didn't get to play it in leagues, though. I think those of you that touched it in leagues didn't have a sour taste in your mouth, though, which I heard.
What
Did
you got,
play it in
Luis?
Luis?
No, he was on my team.
I don't really have a grade for this one because I think I've only played this game like twice. And one of the times I played it, I didn't even know we were playing it. I thought we were playing a different game. So I don't really have a grade for it.
All right, I'll just leave it ungraded for you. No, I think the problem I've been having with Hacker is people don't play the game properly, which is one thing, and it does bother me, and I don't like it when they're doing that in sessions that I'm in, especially. Another problem I have with the game is most players, especially new players, don't even know what's going on. I think like at least 50% of the regulars, you can ask them the location of the hacker targets, and they won't be able to tell you all of them. There's 8 of them, and I think maybe some of them can tell you like at most 6.
Well, there hasn't been 8 for like a couple months now.
True, but we have played with all 8 spots in the past. Mm-hmm. And the other problem is even when the game is played like at its most competitive, which was leagues a couple weeks ago, the game came down to a difference of 20 seconds, like almost every single round. And I think that's just kind of a flaw of the way the game works. So once you have 50% of the targets hacked, your bar starts moving up, and once it gets to 100%, you win. But if you have more than 50%, you go up faster. And that's pretty much where the game came down to, is which team had 5 targets hacked for the longest period of time, which is kind of interesting, I guess. But it's like a team aspect game where you have to trust players to go to their respective area and lock it down. But at the same time, it doesn't reward you for playing like a team. It rewards you for playing individually and each doing well, but it doesn't reward you for playing as a team well.
I almost refuse to believe that the game is a bad game. It has so much potential and so much work put into it. I feel bad giving it a bad rank, but I think a lot of the points you're giving are really on the nose. They're really good points. I'm going to leave it where it is, because I hope that the meta is going to develop around this game and make it more competitive and more fun. We just don't play it. I've said this like 400 times.
Yep. All right. Next up on the list is Supply Grab, which I gave a C.
I don't like this game as a C. It stays there.
It has espionage. It has espionage vibes, so I'm gonna give it a D.
I thought you just said you would give it an S.
No, espionage vibes. It's just, I don't know. It sucks.
It doesn't last very long. It's focused on one section of the map. One side always wins. I feel like everyone kind of like... You're not supposed to like drag the crates on the floor, but you can't like pick them up very well. So you're kind of like forced to drag them across the floor, and I feel bad for that.
The best way to grab it is on its side, where they've got like these little clamps, but those clamps are normally broken. I grab them by those broken clamps.
Yeah,
but
do it like you're trying to do it fast.
It's a game mode that relies on the team leaders to be catching every single new player that's not doing it right. And like when I'm team leading and I turn my back to go say, hey, you need to drop this when you're dead. I see someone else that's like already dead going like 20 feet past me. I'm like, who knows when that person died. And then at the end of the game, everyone's always mad because it's like, that person was dead. They didn't drop the crate. Sorry. I'm one man. I can't do everything. It's fast. It is only the outside of the mansion, not even the inside of the mansion. Like normally at best you can go like 7-1 in this game and grab a crate and then it's over. I don't know. There's not a lot of room for this game to be fun.
Until we change it.
Maybe.
Maybe. So many things on the list right now, and I'm just thinking of ideas at the top of my head.
Supply grab, I think, is pretty low on that list. Not gonna lie.
What if instead of the crates being on like that mansion side, what if they just like were like kind of like center line in the arena, like all over the arena, like tower, market, and mansion, but center line.
I actually wouldn't want to split them up all over the field because that gives me the same problem I was just listing with Hacker, where it kind of like splits up your team and you're rewarded for individually doing well. I think it would be maybe more interesting to put them in a more contestable area. Like, I don't know, surrounding the fountain with them would be maybe interesting, or something like that. Something that's harder to grab 4 of them within 2 minutes.
But in Michigan, have you played this game in Michigan?
No.
Do they have it in Michigan?
Probably.
Like, I imagine their crates are just like the middle of their no man's land, and we don't really have one of those.
Yeah, no, we don't. We could put them upstairs, but then it would just be a matter of which team controls upstairs wins. We could put them downstairs, and it's the same deal. Whoever controls downstairs wins. I think maybe mid-market's like the best even ground we could have, but even then I think it's still like too fast. I feel like you'd need more crates for it to be fun. More crates and more team leaders.
More people watching crates.
Yeah.
All right, we're pushing our time limit here.
Next up, we got SWAT, which has a B for me.
All right, I put this guy. Oh shit! I said hurry things up. I don't know what SWAT looks like. Oh, it's a B as well. It's like mid-tier B, middle of B.
F. I hate this game mode.
What?
I hate this game mode. I hate it.
Real. I think some people really have that opinion where they just like really, really hate SWAT. I actually think SWAT's okay. It's just like such a okay game.
I just hate how you're confined to the building you choose, and especially in a like open play session, you don't want to just go into a room that you want to be in that has like a random and tell them like this is my room. So you just want to pick like whatever's left. It's usually a garbage room, especially like when the China room was like wide open. Like playing that room sucks. There's like 4 windows open. Like it's not. You're not doing anything.
Yeah,
I don't know where to go for the game.
Where I go changes up every couple months, and I will normally go for like one spot for a while, and then I'll change it to somewhere else. Right now, it's like it's that weird market room with like 1 filing cabinet and 3 windows. It's like in the middle area, and you can actually see the SWAT starting room from there. So I will like kill some SWATs. Kill some of the SWAT right away, and then I'll try and stay. It's a good room to actually try and stay alive for a while. That room's been really fun. Being a thug is fun in this game, I think. Being a SWAT is like, okay, I'll normally kill like the same new players that are just like hiding in their spawn every round, and then I'll just die eventually. But being a thug is fun.
I guess being the SWAT's the more fun part. I don't really like being a thug a whole lot. I like working with your team to close off different angles and clear some dead space. It's a fun part for me.
All right. Next up on the list is mission Team Deathmatch, which has a big ol' S for me.
Yeah, I don't really like Team Deathmatch. Where did I put this fucker? Yeah, he's just like B. Like, who cares? Like, it's it's a good game. You always end it with a crescendo of Team Deathmatch. It's a harmless game, but I see it all the time. I just want to get Team Deathmatch over with so I can go play something fun, like Whack-A-Mole, or Domination, or Rush. Get on that.
I have it at A.
Yeah, I just think you can't not have Team Deathmatch in a game mode. I think I'd be upset if it's not in my. These are the same points I made last time, but I'd be upset if it's not in my session. Sessions without it would have to be like experimental game modes or something like that, where I just like want to have like a really good time playing something weird, which we don't do very often at all. I need to have it in my sessions. I need to be able to play my game. I need to warm up, kind of communicate with my team as much as I normally do, just shouting out where people are, who's dead, who's alive, that kind of thing is fun, and Team Deathmatch is the best setting to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good point for it. It's a good warm-up game. I don't imagine like you're starting out with something complicated. You did think about it right away, and you're talking with your friends. Like, what are we playing? Safecracker? What? Now? And then you're off like without the right momentum or right speed.
Yeah.
Team deathmatch, go kill him.
Next is UBL, which remains as an S for me. Love
Yeah,
UBL.
it was lower for me before, and it's gone up to an S. It's a good game.
S all day.
Yeah.
I just skipped Terminator. Whatever. I'll get back to it.
Like the game is garbage. You didn't skip.
All right. UBL, I think, has the most fun objective. It's not like the most crazy team game, except on defending team. I think is maybe more teamwork oriented, but getting the body as an attacker is fun. I don't think there's any objective that you can personally do that is more fun than getting the body.
Yeah, it's really fun. I actually have footage of me doing it with the shotgun and with Luis. This game was really, really fun to play together because we had a good synergy there where Specs is on top of Marketplace, kind of cleared things out, and Luis and I are kind of working to get our way inside of Market or Mansion over and over again. And eventually we pushed up high enough. Using your UBL tournament strategy, we managed to get the body in like a session we were already kind of losing. So it was really cool that way. It's like, yo, we pulled this off, sick. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun UBL.
Going back to the game mode that I skipped, Terminator is D.
F minus.
Yeah, it's just only fun if you're a Terminator, and even if you're a Terminator, you just kind of feel bad. John Connor's fun, though.
I was gonna say I like being John Connor.
Yeah. Finally is Whack-A-Mole. What did I give Whack-A-Mole? I gave Whack-A-Mole an A.
He's an S. S for me. It's one of my favorite tube games.
I put it at A. I like it, but it's just RNG domination.
It's domination, but I've had bad experiences with Whack-A-Mole. I haven't had bad experiences with domination.
My opinion from last time hasn't changed. I'm not going to spit it again.
Yep.
Just the flip coins is fun for me.
All right. So those are each of our tier lists. We did put a thing in the chat at some point for a tier list maker. So if you want to, you can go into the Discord and make your own and send it to me, and I will either respond saying it's bad, or if it's good, I'll probably say nothing. But we're going to move on to our 7-day leaderboard, which isn't horribly interesting, except we do have at least something that's interesting. So going down the list, starting from the top is Killer of the Criers, and then it's Mac 20, Quicks, Specs, Watch Your Flank, Aravan, Rar Ashaway, Mama 82, GlueEater, Nanook, Skulltaker, and then get this one, Grim Reaper 2015, Frog Champ, Nate, and Wakened by Sheep. So I looked up this Grim Reaper guy. He played literally every single session on Saturday. 1:30 until midnight he was playing. And I don't know
more sessions than me.
anything about him. Don't know who this guy is. Yeah, no, not at all.
He's cheating. You didn't put him on there. Well, Nanook's also a good thing to do. He's a player from O'Fallon. It says right there. He's played I think he played Friday and Saturday. He's generally a pretty cool guy, and he's pretty humble. But there were some games that he did actually do really, really well, which is rare to see from a St. Louis player playing in our field. Normally they don't do too hot, but this guy, he put up some good numbers sometimes. Good job, Michael.
Damien played and got on here for the first time in a long time and finished with a KDR of 7.1, which is pretty damn good.
Never doubt the frog. The frog is returned.
Yeah, he plays for that, but Quick's got a kill streak of 65, which I didn't know about. Luis, you got one of 54.
It was
I know
bored.
what session that was.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but
It was bored.
Cool.
Jake got his star, which I don't know if that happened this week or last week. I can't remember. Waken has had her star for I think 2 weeks now. Am I missing anything else here, James?
From the 7-day, no. We can talk about some news.
Yeah.
Before we end the show.
Yeah.
There was a thing I wanted to mention is this is spring break for generally most of the United States right now. If you're a newer player and you want to give playing a shot, I guess, and not getting yourself demolished, now would be the time to come play and try it. It's really fun to play right now when a lot of the really crazy good sessions are going off. This guy's just honking in the middle of the street and he won't shut up. Cool. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's fun right now to play right now. There's no Watson, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting week coming up. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are no Watsons and no Woodland. So if you're looking for a session that's probably going to be fun, you could play
He
those.
told me to say something. I don't know what he wanted me to say.
He probably wanted me to say that it's going to be fun because he's not there.
Something along those lines.
And then Sunday is a really interesting day because we have leagues. So I know a lot of you have said that you have interest in leagues, and a lot of you are waiting to sign up until like Sunday. It helps me if you sign up as early as you can. So I really, really appreciate people signing up as early as they can for leagues. It is $25, and there will be prize support this week. So that would be winning team gets a free session for each player, obviously. It is like I said, it's $25. We're taking over the 7:30 time spot, so we're paying for the spot as well as paying for the prize support. So I really hope we get a good turnout for this next week. Hopefully we get as many people as we did last time. We had a good time last time, and I am on a couple changes I'm going to make. I put it in the chat a while ago, but I'm going to be starting the leagues this week with a team deathmatch. So everybody gets like bare minimum to start everything before the bracket even starts, and I even make teams 10 minutes of game time, and then after that the league will start. So even the people that go 0-2 will get at least it's gonna be about a half an hour of playtime. So I'm trying to give everybody as much game time as I can for their money. Starting at 7:30 does give me this opportunity, which is awesome. We currently have some new people signed up already. I know Stinger wasn't in last week, and he's in now. Assured Legends back in. James, you're in again. I'll probably play again as long as it's a odd number or we just need more people. Like I said, I'm going to also be working to get some of the game modes changed, so blah, 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 blah. I'm changing leagues a little bit, not much. Hopefully everything's going to be even better than it was last week or last time.
Play leagues.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing that happened this morning is all the sessions on Sunday got bought out. So if you want to play on Sunday, you only have the 6 and 7:30, and the 7:30's leagues.
Buy your spots now.
Yeah, some random group bought the entirety of the 1:30, 3 o'clock, and 4:30. So you can't play those.
There's only 20 spots left.
In the 6?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That should be all league players.
Yeah, guys.
Please.
Cool.
All
right, guys. Join the Discord. I've said this before. Play leagues. Yeehaw, laser tag.